What's the strangest coincidence you've ever experienced? I accidentally saved my own life by buying the wrong coffee and didn't realize it until 3 years later. Back in college, I had this exact same routine every single day. I'd wake up at 7:30, shower, grab my backpack, and walk to this little coffee shop called Bean There on campus. Every morning for 2 years, I ordered the same thing. Large dark roast, 2 sugars, no cream. The barista Maya knew my order by heart and would start making it the moment she saw me walk in. This particular Tuesday in October, I was running late for my chemistry exam. I rushed into Bean There, and Maya wasn't there. Instead, there was this new guy behind the counter who looked completely overwhelmed. Large dark roast, 2 sugars, no cream, I said quickly, tapping my foot because I only had 15 minutes to get across campus. He nodded and started working, but I could tell he was flustered. When he handed me the cup, I took a sip and immediately knew something was wrong. It was some kind of vanilla latte with whipped cream, completely different from what I ordered. I was about to complain, but I saw the line building up behind me and figured I didn't have time to wait for him to remake it. So I just took the wrong coffee and ran to my exam. The chemistry test was in the science building, which was a 10-minute walk from Bean There. I always took the same route, cutting through the parking lot behind the library, then past the construction site where they were building the new dorm. But that morning, because I was drinking this sweet vanilla latte instead of my usual bitter coffee, I kept getting this weird aftertaste. It was making me feel slightly nauseous, so I decided to take a different route to get some fresh air. Instead of going past the construction site, I walked the long way around through the quad. It added about 5 minutes to my walk, but I figured the fresh air would help settle my stomach. I made it to the chemistry exam just as they were closing the doors, barely squeaked in on time. The test went fine, and I completely forgot about the whole coffee incident. 3 years later, I was having lunch with my friend Derek, who worked for the campus newspaper. He was telling me about this investigative piece he was working on about campus safety incidents that got covered up by the administration. You remember that construction accident from junior year? He asked. The one where the crane collapsed? I vaguely remembered hearing about some kind of accident, but I'd been so focused on finals that week that I hadn't paid much attention to the details. Derek pulled out his laptop and showed me photos from the scene. It happened on a Tuesday morning in October. The crane was lifting steel beams for the new dorm when the cable snapped. The whole thing came crashing down right into the parking lot behind the library. My stomach dropped as I looked at the photos. The crane had fallen directly across the exact path I walked every single day. The timestamp on the photos showed it happened at 8:45 in the morning. Derek, I said slowly, what time did this happen exactly? He checked his notes. Emergency services got the call at 8:43. The crane operator said it happened just a few minutes before that, so probably around 8:40. I felt the blood drain from my face. That was exactly when I would have been walking past that construction site if I had taken my normal route that morning. Were there any injuries? I asked, already dreading the answer. 3 students were hurt by falling debris. 2 had minor injuries, but 1 guy got hit by a steel beam and was in the hospital for weeks. If he'd been walking just 20 feet ahead of where he was, it would have killed him instantly. I sat there in complete shock, trying to process what Derek was telling me. If that new barista hadn't messed up my coffee order, if I hadn't gotten nauseous from the vanilla latte, if I hadn't decided to take the long route for fresh air, I would have been walking directly under that crane when it collapsed. I told Derek the whole story, and he just stared at me with his mouth open. Dude, he said finally, a coffee order mistake literally saved your life. I went back to Bean There that afternoon to see if the barista from that morning still worked there. Maya told me his name was Alex, and he'd only worked there for 2 weeks before quitting. He was so nervous about messing up orders, she said. Poor kid stressed himself out so much that he decided the job wasn't for him. I never got to thank Alex for accidentally saving my life with his mistake, but ever since then, whenever someone messes up my order, I just smile and drink whatever they give me. You never know when a small mistake might be exactly what you need.